Welcome back to Movies Recapped. Today I am going to explain the American action thriller film, Real Steel. The film begins showing a negligent man. His name is Charlie. He is unemployed, and he earns his bread and butter, taking the part in the robot boxing fight, but he is defeated in a robot fight just now. So there is nothing left for him. So he leads his life, asking from others. He comes to know that a grand competition is going to be held. So he makes his biggest robot. Now the day of that competition had arrived. He begins to drive towards there, taking his robot. Actually, his huge robot had the fighting match with a big bull. It was not an ordinary bull, but it had won many competitions. It was black, gigantic and aggressive bull. Charlie eventually reaches there. And he finalizes the amount of money with its owner. You will have to pay me $20,000 if I win the match. Owner replies, of course. You will have to pay me the same amount of money if you lose the fight. So the fight begins. Charlie has a remote control, through which he was controlling his robot. On the other side, there was no need to control the bull. It was enough to cope with that robot. In the beginning, Charlie is controlling his robot perfectly. But his robot falls down because of his little diversion of attention. Bull had badly damaged his robot. Now, Charlie begins to worry. How will my robot fight? So he says to that man that, let's start this match again. No, your robot will become the part of junkyard. And it happens the same. That gigantic bull damages that robot entirely. It turns the robot into the small pieces. It is obvious that Charlie had lost the fight. Now he had to pay $20,000 to the owner of Bull according to the deal. He had not a single penny. Being worried, he starts escaping from there. He hides at a place. Then two persons appear there. They tell him, that lady is no more with whom you used to live 10 years ago. Now you have also a son who is 10 years old. He is lonesome now because his mother has passed away. His aunt wants to take his custody. This decision cannot be taken without your permission. Now tell us. Do you want to take the custody of your son or will allow his aunt to hold his charge? Charlie was already wanted to escape from there. So he immediately moves to the court from there, where that child's aunt is saying in the court that, I am wealthiest so I can take care of this child properly. I will fulfill what he demands. Then he requests to Charlie, going there. Charlie was free from care whose hands take the charge of his son. Because he had never encountered him. And he was going to permit. But he hits upon a plan. He thinks that he will pretend, as he does not want to give his son in the custody of his aunt. He is undoubtedly enough wealthy that she will offer me money, give the custody of this child in place of this amount of money. Getting much money, I will let her to take the charge of my child. And he does the same. The aunt and uncle of that child make a deal with Charlie, alright. You may take the amount of $100,000. But let us to take the charge of your son. Charlie is very excited on it. That he got $100,000 without any effort. The aunt of that child says to Charlie that but do a favor for us. Actually, we have to go somewhere for 3 months. So you will have to take the charge of your son for 3 months. Afterwards, we will take him along with us forever. So, Charlie has to agree with them. Now, Charlie directly moves to a place, taking his son and the amount of money. Meeting a man, he hands him over $50,000. He says to him, just make a marvelous robot for me. That man says, don't worry. It will be carried out in this payment. Charlie's son hears this conversation. So he feels bad. Charlie says to him, a marvelous robot is going to be got in place of this payment. They get that robot within a few days. They both name him Noisy Boy. It was too solid and huge. Charlie thinks, why is there not the fight of robot as I have got this excellent robot? Charlie's son says, I will also accompany you. Now they move to a place. And the robot fight is begun. Using this robot, Charlie could win this fight if he wanted. But he was negligent so he badly loses this fight again. Because the opponent man's robot separates the hand of Noisy Boy at first. Then it segregates its head from its robotic body. Charlie is very disappointed on this defeat. He says to him, I will repair this robot at any cost. Then they go to the scrapyard from there. So that they may find such material which is useful to repair their robot. It is heavily raining there. And they are searching for their spare parts. At the same time, that child begins to fall down while slipping. Charlie immediately saves him. Then the child notices which thing did cause his slipping. So he observes a weird thing. It was the old robotic hand. He says to his father, "Let's take it out." But Charlie declares, "We have no time for this. It is also raining." But that child says, "Okay. I myself will take it out." Afterwards, they both approach Charlie's friend, who had a little information about the robots. Charlie tells his friend, "My son has brought a robot. I don't know which old robot he has taken from the junkyard." Charlie's son says his father, "Have a look on it at once. It is perfect." Now Charlie's friend also more repaired it. Consequently, it is activated. That robot's name was Atom. It was strongest robot, and no one knew it. Charlie is pleased seeing it. He says to his son, "We will take it in the grand competition. Most powerful robot boxer of the world is there, and no one defeated it till today." Atom had a trait that it used to store the information into its memory. It means that he learnt everything what was taught to it, either teach it the fighting skill or show another thing. It used to mimic it. Now, Charlie and his son train this robot, so that it may fight with that robot boxer. At last, that time approaches, when Atom becomes a most skillful robot. It partakes in many competitions. The interesting fact was this, that Charlie and his robot Atom had started to win many competitions. And Charlie is offered for many time for this, that sell us your robot, either take from us $200,000. But Charlie's son was not consented for this. He used to say that we let it take part in more fights. And we will compete in a grand competition after training our robots. Atom is being trained because of the competition which are going on. There was again Atom's fight with the strongest robot. Now this fight begins. Charlie's son had also trained it dancing. And he participates the competition while dancing. He confronts a two-headed robot. It puts a heavy hand on it as it approaches. And they both start fighting. Atom and that robot were also hitting each other again and again. And they punch each other many times. It was realizing that strong robot boxer will win the match. But Atom is eventually wins the match. As a result, Charlie is contented. Charlie takes a heavy amount of money from those people. He is nearly to leave from there, then his old enemy appears there. The same opponent man whose bull had defeated Charlie's robot. And Charlie had to pay him $20,000. They grab all money from Charlie. And Charlie's son is witnessing everything. Charlie becomes disappointed. He says to his son, "There is no benefit for coming days. I cannot foster you. I have not a single penny now." That child's aunt and uncle had also come back. Charlie says to his son, "Come. I may leave you to your aunt." That child says, "No. I want to live with you." He forcefully takes the charge of his son to his aunt. And he comes back. His friend asks her, "Where is your son?" He tells that, "I have given him in the custody of his aunt. I had to do it. Otherwise, I was not getting courage to take care of him." His friend says to him, "Charlie, are you in your senses? He is your son. What is your issue if he wants to live with you? Immediately go to him." Then, Charlie has to carry it out. Charlie had felt that he was his son who taught Atom these skills. He says to his son, going to him, "My son, our fight is going to be held with Zeus robot." It was the same powerful robot, which had never been defeated till today by anyone. And we have also needed to train Atom. So his son happily accompanies him. And his aunt does also not forbid him. Rather, she permits her blissfully. Now the day has arrived when there is fight between Atom and Zeus robot. All are very rejoiced, because Atom had been winning many previous matches. And his opponent robot was Zeus today. It means, the strongest robot of the world. Many people makes a bet on it. Here that man had also come who was the owner of bull. He says, Atom will lose the fight. So he also makes a bet of a heavy amount, which was going to come back according to him. But who knows what happens next. Now, Zeus robot appears there, which was the horrific arrival. The competition was going to start. Charlie and his son are confused, seeing that Zeus robot. But Charlie says to his son, "We will have to win the match at any cost. We can do it." They are told that there will be the 5 rounds of their boxing match. The first round starts. Zeus robot instantly punches Atom as it begins. Atom falls down, but Zeus robot continues to hit it with its fists. Zeus robot was not giving a chance that it may take any action. Atom loses its much energy here. Now, Zeus robot hits on its head. Consequently, Atom becomes motionless, falling down. Here the timing of first round knockout starts. But Charlie's son shouts, "Get up, Atom. You will have to win the match." And Atom begins to move here. Getting up immediately, Atom punches hardly to Zeus robot. All spectators are left shocked. Because no robot had ever punched Zeus robot so hardly. Feeling victorious, Atom begins to punch more to Zeus robot. But Zeus robot flies into rage, feeling someone hit me. Zeus robot hits Atom many times that it does not get a chance to punch it back. Both are hitting each other. And Atom is also protecting itself. Here the timing of first round is ended. Charlie repairs Atom and calms it down, coming there. Now round 2 begins. Both are fighting with each other in the second round. But Zeus robot was enough strong that it was not getting any harm by the punches of Atom. Now, Zeus robot begins to attack Atom and it knocks down. Fortunately, it gets up again as the timing of second round was going to over. Third round has the same situation. Now fourth round is started. Atom was badly beaten. But Charlie was continuously motivating it, and Charlie's son was more motivating it, saying, "You can do it." Atom does not lose its courage and continues its fight with Zeus robot. Zeus robot takes Atom to the corner of boxing stage that its body begins to extract the fuel. And Atom loses its energy. The round bell rings before Atom's vocal response controls are damaged. And the round 4 is ended here. Charlie immediately comes there. And he brings some changes to mend it. Now the 5th round was going to start, but Atom's condition was not as such that it may fight. So Charlie's son presents an idea to his father. We know that Atom mimics our actions. Now he has not much courage to fight itself. Why do you not show your boxing skills standing beside it? It will begin to mimic you. Charlie asks, how is it possible? There are a number of people and they will observe me. Charlie's son suggests him, be out of ring. You may show your excitement as audience is doing. No one will suspect you. Now the round starts, which was final one. And Charlie begins to act like this. Atom begins to mimic it through its shadow function according to their plan. Zeus robot begins to attack it as the round begins. And it is punching it. Atom is defending itself at the beginning. Getting the chance, he also begins to punch it in return. Now Zeus robot's charging was lowering. So it starts to stop. Witnessing it, Charlie is extremely happy. He says, I will defeat it easily now. So it begins to hit with his fists. Atom also begins to hit Zeus robot with its fist, mimicking Charlie. Seeing Zeus robot, its owner begins to control it. He was not tolerating it as Zeus robot is being defeated. Contrarily, Charlie was also self-assured. He is highly jumping. Mimicking him, Atom also attacks Zeus robot for many times. It is revealed here that Charlie was a trained boxer. But boxers' jobs spoiled when the robots were made. People gave the priority to the robot boxing fight. Boxers had been ignored by everyone. Charlie's friend starts to weep when he is skillfully boxing. And his son also becomes the sentimental. Because he was feeling proud on his father. That his father is trained boxer. He always wished to see his father like this. Spectators begin to encourage Charlie and Atom. Charlie has started to remember his old memories of his profession. So he is fighting passionately. Charlie eventually attacks Zeus robot's chin through Atom. Such skill had never been shown. Zeus robot system detects error due to this. And it prostrates. Now the amount of seconds counting is started. Because it was the final round. Atom had been won if Zeus robot did not get up during the seconds counting. But the owner of Zeus robot could not let it be. He makes it get up in any way. Now Atom had to win. And he had developed much confidence. He begins to punch him as Zeus robot gets up. He attacks it for many times. As a result, Zeus robot knocks down again. The owner of Zeus robot damages the remote control. Now, Zeus robot's charging was also low, so there was no any chance that Zeus robot may get up again. Charlie was clearly witnessing that he and Atom have won the match. He feels excitement and his friend and son also compliment him. Now it was going to be declared who is actually the winner. But all are left stunned when it is announced, because they had declared Zeus robot a winner. It was right because Zeus robot had fought better in every round. It was only the final round where Atom defeated it. But no one feels happiness on this result. Spectators express it was the final round which was enjoyed. It was remarkable fight. And you're declared Zeus robot the winner. Spectators begin to make a noise. And the judges who had announced Zeus robot a winner, they say, just stop. Listen the complete announcement. Zeus robot wins on the result of scores. But the champion of this fight is Atom. Here, Atom is titled champion. Charlie receives many compliments and a heavy amount of money. Zeus robot was damaged, so it was in vain to declare it winner. And all begin to feel excitement, and Charlie embraces his son blissfully. Charlie's son says to his father, I am proud of you. And Charlie also says to his son, I have also great affections for you. The money which has been awarded to me, I will take you back, returning this money to your aunt. Now I will not let you go far. Charlie's son also says, I want to be like you. And this movie completes with upbeat ending. Subscribe for watch more video. Turn on notification. Don't forget to like, comment and share. Thank you for watching and your time.